Do you really believe that facing an enemy can transform your life? It may seem controversial, but the secrets of the ancient Stoic philosophers can challenge everything you know about conflicts and inner peace. Today, I'm going to reveal how a surprising principle, often overlooked, can be the key to immediate personal transformation. Get ready to discover a truth that may not only shock you, but also offer an unexpected path to a fuller and more serene life. Stay with me and uncover the hidden power in the age-old wisdom that promises to change your perspective on life in unbelievable ways. The lessons from the great Stoic philosophers teach us not only to confront life, but also to deal with our greatest adversaries wisely and balancedly. Here we explore 9 Stoic ways to destroy your enemy, not with swords and harsh words, but with the power of the mind and character. Let's get to the point. First way, understand the nature of the enemy. Starting from Marcus Aurelius' maxim, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy, we embark on a journey of self-awareness and wisdom. This phrase not only resonates through the centuries, but also invites us to deeply reflect on our own actions and reactions. Instead of replicating behaviors that harm us, true strength lies in choosing a different, higher path. The central issue here is the recognition that often the most formidable adversary we face is within us. This internal enemy, fueled by unthinking impulses and misguided views of reality, can be more harmful than any external opponent. Overcoming this enemy is not a battle of strength, but of insight and internal control. By choosing not to mirror those who challenge us, we open up a range of possibilities for personal growth. This does not mean passivity in the face of adversity, but a conscious choice not to allow others' negativity to dictate our behavior and emotional state. Furthermore, this approach puts us in a position of power, not through domination, but through freedom. Freed from the shackles of instinctive reaction, we become masters of our actions and emotions. This freedom is the true trophy, the greatest reward that can be achieved in the journey of self-discovery. Consequently, by adopting this philosophy, we begin to see the world and people in a new way. Our interactions become richer, more empathetic, and paradoxically, by renouncing revenge, we may end up positively influencing even those we considered our enemies. Now, let's explore how this principle can be applied in different aspects of life, from interpersonal relationships to professional challenges. Every situation we face is an opportunity to practice this ancient wisdom, adapting it to the modern context and transforming it into a powerful tool for personal and collective development. By applying this age-old wisdom in our everyday lives, we discover that every interaction, every challenge, becomes a fertile ground for growth. In the professional environment, for example, the temptation to retaliate against a competitive colleague or demanding boss may be strong. However, by choosing a path of patience, understanding, and assertiveness, we not only preserve our integrity, but also set an example of maturity and professionalism. This approach does not imply submission or weakness. On the contrary, it requires considerable internal strength to remain calm in tense situations and respond with balance. This strength, cultivated over time, becomes a powerful tool for influence and leadership. It allows us to lead by example, inspiring others to adopt similar attitudes, creating a more harmonious and productive work environment. In personal relationships, this philosophy is equally transformative. Instead of fueling cycles of resentment and retaliation within families, friend groups, or partners, choosing to understand, forgive, and move forward completely changes the dynamics of these relationships. This does not mean ignoring injustices or accepting harmful behaviors, but choosing to respond to them constructively. seeking solutions and preserving mutual respect. Imagine for a moment what our society would be like if each individual adopted this stance. We would be living in a world where conflicts are resolved through dialogue and understanding, where empathy prevails over hostility. This is a lofty ideal, but every step we take in this direction contributes to making it a closer reality. Closing this reflection, let's return to the words of Marcus Aurelius, not as a mere dictum, but as an invitation to a life of greater peace, understanding, and humanity. By choosing not to be like our enemy, we choose a path of light, a path that illuminates not only our own being, but also the world around us. Second way, cultivate serenity. Advancing on this journey of introspection and wisdom, we encounter the thought of Seneca. Tranquility of mind is shown by calmness in the face of adversity. This reflection is a powerful reminder that true inner strength is manifested in our ability to remain calm amidst the storms of life. When we face adverse situations, serenity is a more potent weapon than anger or retaliation. Provocation, whether in personal or professional spheres, is one of these storms. It's easy to be swept away by the wave of emotions it brings. However, Seneca teaches us that the most effective response is tranquility. By maintaining calmness, we not only protect our own peace of mind, but also disarm our adversary. Serenity destabilizes those expecting an impulsive reaction, completely changing the course of the confrontation. This calmness is not a denial of emotions or challenging circumstances. It is a recognition that our reaction is the only thing we truly control. Amidst chaos, choosing calmness is choosing control. This does not imply passivity, but a conscious decision not to allow others' actions to dictate our internal state. Seneca's concept also leads us to reflect on resilience. Serenity in the face of challenges indicates a resilient mind, capable of adapting and finding solutions even in the most adverse situations. It allows us to assess circumstances clearly, without the veil of heightened emotion, and make wiser decisions. Furthermore, by practicing calmness, we become living examples of this tranquil strength. We positively influence those around us, whether in the family environment, among friends, or at work. We demonstrate that it is possible to face adversities with balance and dignity. As we absorb and apply this lesson, we understand that tranquility is not an external condition, but an internal state we can cultivate and maintain, regardless of circumstances. And this tranquility is contagious. It has the power to transform environments and relationships, creating an atmosphere of peace and mutual understanding. In conclusion, Seneca's message is an invitation to look within ourselves and find that unshakable tranquility. It is a call to be beacons of calm in a frequently turbulent world, demonstrating that even in the face of adversity, we can choose serenity and thereby transform our experiences and those of those around us. 3. Practice empathy. We find a profound lesson in humanity in the words of Epictetus. Remember that your enemy is also human, subject to errors and sufferings. This reflection invites us to expand our perception and empathy, reminding us that behind every adversary, there is a story, internal struggles, and a universe of experiences that have shaped their actions and reactions. This understanding is crucial for transforming animosity into understanding. By recognizing the humanity in our enemy, we begin to see beyond the actions that negatively affect us. Seeking to understand the motivations, fears, and pains that drive the other offers us a broader perspective, one that transcends immediate conflict. This quest for understanding is an exercise in empathy, which can soften even the hardest heart and pave the way for constructive dialogue. Epictetus's concept does not suggest a justification for harmful or abusive behavior, but an invitation to understand that each person is a product of their experiences. This understanding does not absolve one of responsibility for actions, but it helps us approach situations with more compassion and less judgment. In practice, this means approaching conflicts with a stance of curiosity rather than confrontation. Asking, why is this person acting this way, instead of how can I retaliate? This shift in perspective can reveal unexpected solutions and paths to reconciliation, or at the very least, mutual understanding. Furthermore, this approach helps us develop patience and tolerance, essential qualities for harmonious coexistence in any society. It teaches us that just like us, others are also on a journey of growth and learning, full of mistakes and successes. Ultimately, understanding that our enemy is as human as we are is a fundamental step towards building a more empathetic and less divided world. This understanding leads us to a more peaceful and constructive way of dealing with conflicts, where empathy triumphs over animosity and dialogue prevails over dispute. In closing this reflection, we return to Epictetus's wisdom, which teaches us not only to tolerate our enemies, but to understand them. In doing so, we may discover that the line separating an enemy from a potential friend is often thinner than we imagine, and that understanding can be the key to transforming adversaries into allies. I wish for all of you that this journey through the teachings of the great Stoics be the spark for a transformation in your life. So if you are ready to embrace this change, type, "I will be resilient." Together, let us embark on a path of empowerment and inner peace, starting here and now. Fourth way, master your emotions. We have reached a fundamental point, the management of intense emotions, such as anger and hatred. The Stoic does not deny the existence of these feelings, as they are part of the human experience. However, they teach us to recognize them without allowing them to become the masters of our actions. This lesson is essential in a world where we often react quickly and impulsively. Anger and hatred, when left unchecked, can lead to hasty decisions and destructive actions, affecting not only ourselves but also those around us. As true Stoics, the challenge is to observe these emotions, understand their origins, but not let them dictate our behavior. This does not mean suppressing or ignoring what we feel. On the contrary, it is an invitation to deep introspection. Upon recognizing anger or hatred, we should ask ourselves, why am I feeling this? What is really behind this emotion? These questions can reveal insecurities, fears, or frustrations that need to be addressed. Furthermore, Stoic practice involves adopting a broader perspective. Before acting on the impulse of anger, it is advisable to ponder the consequences of our actions, asking ourselves, will this action bring long-term benefits? Is it aligned with my values and life goals? This reflection can help us choose responses more aligned with who we want to be. The ability to control our emotional reactions is a sign of strength and maturity. It allows us to respond to situations more balanced and effectively. This not only improves our quality of life, but also strengthens our relationships, as it prevents hasty words and actions from causing irreparable harm. In daily practice, this may mean taking a step back when we feel anger arise, taking deep breaths, and allowing a moment of pause before responding. It may also mean seeking healthy ways to process these emotions, such as talking to a trusted individual, writing about our feelings, or engaging in physical activities to release tension. In short, Stoic wisdom encourages us to be masters of our emotions, not their slaves. By recognizing and managing anger and hatred, we become more capable of acting according to our principles and values, and of building a more balanced and meaningful life. Thus, true strength lies not in indiscriminately expressing what we feel, but in choosing how and when to express those emotions in a way that is constructive and aligned with who we aspire to be. Number 5, strengthen your resilience. Returning to the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, we find another pearl of insight. What does not harm the man does not harm his life either. This statement is an invitation to reassess our perspective in the face of adversities. Instead of seeing them as insurmountable obstacles, we can view them as valuable opportunities for growth and personal strengthening. This change of perspective is crucial. Often the tendency is to perceive difficulties as personal attacks on our well-being or happiness. However, Marcus Aurelius' philosophy reminds us that many of the experiences we classify as bad are in fact neutral. It is our perception and reaction to them that determines their impact on our lives. When facing adversities, whether it be professional failure, a relationship challenge, or a personal crisis, we can choose to see them not as misfortunes, but as learning moments. Each difficulty carries within it the seed of self-improvement. We can develop resilience, patience, empathy, and a host of other qualities that make us stronger and wiser. For example, a mistake at work can be an opportunity to learn something new, improve skills, or review our methods. A dispute with a friend or family member can teach us about forgiveness, communication, and the importance of seeing things from different perspectives. Furthermore, this approach helps us maintain calm in turbulent times. When we view adversities as a natural part of life and as opportunities for growth, we reduce the anxiety and fear that often accompany these moments. This allows us to face challenges with a clearer mind and a more peaceful heart. Adopting this mindset does not mean ignoring the pain or difficulties that these moments may bring. Recognizing and validating our feelings is important. However, the key is not to get stuck in that pain, but to use it as a springboard for growth. In conclusion, the words of Marcus Aurelius serve as a powerful reminder that life is not defined by what happens to us, but by how we respond to what happens to us. By embracing adversities as opportunities to strengthen and evolve, we transform our life experience, finding meaning and value even in the toughest challenges. Number 6, value reason. Digging deeper into Stoic philosophy, we arrive at an essential principle: the importance of reflection before action. Logic and reason are indeed the greatest weapons of a Stoic. This approach emphasizes the need to pause and think before reacting, recognizing that impulsive actions often fuel conflicts, while thoughtful and well-considered responses have the power to promote peace and harmony. In a world where we are constantly bombarded by stimuli and pressures to react quickly, the ability to stop and reflect is not only a valuable skill, but also an act of resistance. When faced with a challenging situation, whether it be a disagreement, a complex problem, or an important decision, the natural tendency may be to act immediately, guided by our primal emotions. However, Stoic philosophy advises us to take a step back, to breathe, and to use reason to guide our response. By doing so, we allow our minds to evaluate all facets of the situation, weighing the possible consequences of our actions. This more analytical and less emotional approach can reveal solutions that would not be apparent in a state of immediate reaction. Furthermore, by responding in a balanced and considered manner, we minimize the risk of exacerbating conflict, paving the way for more peaceful and constructive resolutions. The practice of reflection before action also helps us align our responses with our deeper values and principles. Instead of being led by momentary impulses, our actions become conscious expressions of who we are and what we value. This is especially important in high-pressure situations, where the temptation to give in to quick reactions may be strong. This Stoic approach is not a denial of emotion, but a recognition that emotion, without the guidance of reason, can be deceptive and potentially harmful. By integrating reason and emotion, we achieve a state of balance that enables us to respond to situations more effectively and appropriately. In conclusion, reflection before action is one of the pillars of Stoic wisdom and a powerful tool in the pursuit of peace and understanding. By cultivating this practice, we strengthen our ability to face challenges with clarity, compassion, and effectiveness, promoting a more harmonious life both for ourselves and for those around us. Number 7, be an example of virtue. The idea of living with integrity so that even your enemy cannot find true faults in your character is a powerful expression of Stoic philosophy and a universal ethical principle. It suggests that the best way to face adversity and opposition is not through direct confrontation, but by being an example of virtue and integrity. In doing so, you become a mirror that reflects the flaws of others, not by pointing them out, but simply by contrast. This approach requires consistent dedication to self-development and authenticity. Living in a way that your character is beyond criticism means cultivating qualities such as honesty, responsibility, compassion, and justice in all aspects of life. It means acting not only according to what is socially acceptable, but aligned with deeper and more universal values. Being a mirror for the flaws of others does not imply judging or belittling them, but serving as a silent reminder of what it means to live with integrity. Your own conduct can inspire reflection and change in others, even those who may have hostile intentions. This way of living also has a profound effect on how we perceive ourselves and how we relate to the world. When we know we are doing our best to live according to high principles, we strengthen our self-esteem and resilience. This makes us less vulnerable to external criticism and attacks because our validation does not come from the approval of others, but from an internal sense of integrity and purpose. Furthermore, by prioritizing character over retaliation or confrontation, we create an environment conducive to peace and mutual understanding. Even if others do not immediately change their behavior in response to our example, we establish a standard of conduct that can positively influence people around us in the long run. In summary, living in a way that your enemy cannot find faults in your character is a noble and transformative challenge. It is an invitation to be the best versions of ourselves, regardless of external circumstances. In doing so, we not only elevate our own lives, but also serve as a source of inspiration and positive change in the world around us. 8th way, develop self-sufficiency. The wisdom of Epictetus offers us another valuable perspective, the importance of relying less on others and more on our own inner strength. He advises the pursuit of freedom through self-sufficiency, an idea deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. This approach is not only about physical or material independence, but primarily about emotional and mental autonomy. Relying less on others does not mean isolating ourselves or rejecting external help and support. Rather, it is about cultivating a mind and spirit that are not overly influenced or disturbed by others' opinions, actions, or approvals. This involves a process of strengthening character and developing self-confidence that is not dependent on external factors. The self-sufficiency that Epictetus advocates is a form of freedom when we are not bound by others' expectations, social pressures, or the need for approval. We have the freedom to choose our own paths, make decisions aligned with our values, and live authentically. This does not eliminate life's challenges or uncertainties, but it gives us internal tools to deal with them more effectively and calmly. This internal independence also helps us build healthier and more balanced relationships. When we do not overly rely on others for our happiness or sense of worth, we can interact from a place of strength and balance, avoiding codependency and promoting a more genuine and fulfilling exchange. Cultivating this inner strength requires practice and continuous reflection. It involves knowing oneself, recognizing and working on weaknesses, celebrating strengths, and constantly seeking personal growth. Practices such as meditation, reflective writing, and seeking challenges that promote self-development can be helpful in this process. In summary, Epictetus's message is an invitation to find our own source of power and freedom within ourselves. By doing so, we not only become more resilient in the face of adversity, but also more capable of living a full, authentic, and meaningful life. Relying less on others and more on our inner strength is not an easy path, but it is deeply rewarding and liberating. We've reached the last way. Cultivate inner peace. Closing our journey through the wisdom of the Stoic philosophers, we arrive at a fundamental advice from Seneca. The mind that is anxious about the future is unhappy. This powerful quote reminds us of the importance of seeking inner peace above all else, emphasizing that true happiness and contentment reside in the present moment and in our own inner being. Seneca, with his acute perception, recognizes the human tendency to worry about the future, often at the expense of our peace in the present. This anxiety about what is to come can rob us of the joy and satisfaction that are within our reach now. His advice is an invitation to redirect our focus, to find contentment and tranquility within ourselves rather than incessantly seeking them in external circumstances or an uncertain future. Finding inner peace means cultivating a state of mind where we are in harmony with ourselves, regardless of external turbulence. This involves learning to accept and appreciate the present with all its imperfections and beauties. It also means recognizing that many of the problems we worry about may never happen, and that our power lies in how we respond to life's challenges, not in trying to control the uncontrollable. This path to inner peace often requires a shift in perspective. It involves practices such as gratitude, meditation, and mindfulness, which help us recognize and appreciate the positive aspects of our current life. It also means working to accept and let go of worries and expectations that do not serve our well-being. Additionally, Seneca encourages us to find contentment in our own being. This means developing a healthy and loving relationship with ourselves, recognizing our qualities, celebrating our achievements, and being kind to our flaws and mistakes. By doing so, we create a core of stability and inner serenity that can sustain us through life's ups and downs. In summary, the pursuit of inner peace is a continuous and transformative journey. It leads us to a deeper understanding of who we are and what truly matters. By following Seneca's advice and focusing on the present and inner contentment, we open the doors to a life of greater satisfaction, happiness, and harmony, both within ourselves and in our relationships with others and the world. Having deeply explored the teachings of the great Stoics, we have come to the end of a journey filled with wisdom and transformative reflections. Each step on this path has revealed to us how to face life's challenges with integrity, resilience, and inner peace. Now I invite you to take these lessons with you and apply them in your daily life. But before we part ways, I have a special invitation for you. If you have found value in this content, if it has sparked something within you, then I ask you to join our community. Subscribe to the channel, leave your like, comment your reflections, and share this video with someone who will also benefit from these powerful Stoic lessons. By doing so, you not only support us, but also help spread the light of Stoic wisdom, creating waves of positive change around the world. If you're ready to embark with us on this continuous journey of growth and discovery, type "I will be resilient" in the comments, and let's together illuminate the path to a more conscious and harmonious future. Thank you for being with us today. See you soon.